Hello, welcome to Money with Mac and G. We are super excited to be here today. McKenna, were you going to kick it off with something that you just did on your computer?
I was.
Do it.
Welcome to Money with Mac and G. We hope you had a great week. We will be talking about current events.
Wow, that is so non-energetic. What a wonderful way to start this whole thing off.
It kind of slowed it down.
Kind of slowed it down. Did you hit the wrong button?
With Mac and G, we hope you had a great week.
Oh,
we
that was
will
nice.
be talking about current events.
That's better.
All right,
Okay.
that's so much better. Well, thanks for that, McAdoo.
Welcome.
Graham, hey, what's your deal for the week? What's been going on? What do you...
Well, pretty much laziness and just gaming. Really
Gaming
nothing.
and laziness, right?
Yeah.
You come down into the boy cave and it stinks and lots of toots, lots of... yeah,
Red.
okay, well, you know, sometimes we come down here and it's kind of nasty. McKenna, how about you? You were telling us some interesting stuff before the day or before this started.
I'm just really sad because we have to go back to school.
Yeah, and the parents are waiting for the kids to go back to school.
No.
And you guys are going back in
Monday.
person, right? We're taking a quick look at that.
Yeah, yay.
So your whole world is revolving around depression for tomorrow. And Grant, you're
Ew.
just like, I got to stop being lazy and eating corn Cheetos and all that stuff. right?
Corn Cheetos.
We don't even have Cheetos.
You don't even have Cheetos. Well, you know, it's been a really interesting week, and I'm so glad that you guys are back. And it's fun when things are interesting. And what is one of the things that happened over the last week that could be affecting the stock market? Because what does the stock market not like?
Uncertainty.
Yes.
Exactly. And what does
say discertainty?
discertainty?
Discertainty.
Is like a disgruntled or mad or somebody got dissed. Well, what does the stock market do? Does the stock market go
Up and down.
And then last year, for the most part, the stock market, if you looked at it for the whole year, it started off pretty good. Then it went crashing down, right?
Crashing
And then it took off
Like the oil thing?
yeah,
Or-
the oil thing, and it went up, and then it took a huge dip down, and then it came back up. Oh, look at that. Money with Mac and G pillow. Get yours here
Ooh.
for $19.95.
We're not selling.
But we got one in the mail. We ordered one. It was pretty cool. But the market goes what, guys?
Up and down.
Just like the pillow, it goes up and down. And so we wanted to talk just a little bit about a couple of things about uncertainty. Grant, do you have one thing over the last week that has put some uncertainty out there?
Yes, I do, for a matter of fact. Anyone heard of the storming of the Capitol?
Oh, man. Yeah, that was a big
Dramatic,
news.
yeah.
And there were some
Music
people that got in
here.
trouble. And
And
what else
some
happened?
people got killed, too.
Yeah.
It was really sad, yeah.
There was somebody that got killed, being shot. And from what I read, did you read this? How many other people? supposedly?
3 others, I think.
That's what I heard too. Is that 4 people in total? One got shot there. What were they doing? Why were they even there at the Capitol? Why?
Well, we don't 100% know, but we think that they were trying to burn the ballots and try to get it so Trump won. So these were all Trump supporters. So
you're thinking, and did Trump talk to him earlier in the day? Did you know that? He was.
Yes, he did.
did.
They were holding like the rally
Oh.
that's a legal rally, like it wasn't like illegal or anything. And then they actually like broke into the Capitol building, which is illegal, just so you know. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so you're not allowed to do that. And they were counting. Do you remember that special word? Not the popular vote. When you and I vote, that's one vote for me, which is popular, but it's called the
Electoral.
the electoral college, the
Oh,
electoral
yeah.
votes.
I knew
Yeah.
I knew it started with C. I just didn't.
Because what was supposed to happen this past week? They were supposed to say who is the new
President.
president.
Yeah, they were recounting the votes.
And they were recounting the votes, and then there was a rally. People got what they call incited, which worked up. They stormed the Capitol, and that causes uncertainty. And when there's uncertainty in the market, what normally happens?
It goes down.
You're right.
The stock market doesn't like uncertainty.
It doesn't like
afraid of
uncertainty.
it.
Yeah. It could be good stuff and bad stuff, right? Like we had just talked about. If you went down in your basement and you heard all kinds of weird noises and you weren't certain what it was, but maybe it was an ice cream machine and a popcorn machine.
I like ice cream.
Yeah.
Maybe it was
that would be a good surprise,
soda
right?
stand, but since it was so dark and you hearing these weird, creepy like monster sounds.
It would make
Don't
you
know.
uncertain, and you would go running back upstairs. Mom, Dad, what is that sound? And then check it out. But uncertainty is something the market does not like. And what is another piece of uncertainty? Because Grandma Jones came over this week. What did she-
So she wanted to apply for the vaccination.
That's right. And Mac, what's the
COVID.
deal with the vaccination here in Indiana right now?
First of all, we have a list, which I think we'll do a little bit later, of like who actually is allowed and who's like the first group of people that can
Right.
get it.
Mhm.
And then you can also, there's like an age group that can get it. Like that's more, what's the word? More
Eligible.
Yes.
There you go.
So-
Well, why don't you give us a couple? We got a couple that we wrote down. Why don't you give us the first one? What's the first one that all the states are usually starting with these people? Who are they?
Healthcare workers.
What about you, G? Do you know anybody who's next?
Like people in the hospital, like the people are like also helping with COVID. So like they
That's-
need to be safe from it to help us.
It could be people answering phones. It could be
Yeah,
people working in
maybe
the
that
food
too.
service in the hospital.
But think of it with COVID.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Think of the nurses and the doctors helping us out there every day.
Plus, I think that's right. And plus, think of the people that
Sir.
go out if there's an emergency. What's kind of the next one that we thought? of?
Firefighters and police officers.
That's right. They're going to be touching, being around, helping, whatever. So for them, that's pretty important. What about the one that we didn't talk about? It's the Department of Corrections. Do you know what that is? That's not Mom and Dad's room. That's not the Department of Corrections where we correct you guys. Do you know what the Department of Corrections is?
Is it in a jail?
Yeah, it's the entity or the thing that deals with all the jails.
So it's like the people working there, not the prisoners.
Yes, but there's a little bit of controversy. You know what that means, controversy? Like not everybody is in an agreement, and usually it makes some people mad that they think that they should give the prisoners the vaccine. Why do you think they should give the prisoners vaccine, Mac? I'm not saying that that's what you believe, but
I don't
why do you
know.
think some people say you should give it to them?
So they can live?
Well, think about it. If we're all in a cell that's like 10 feet by 12 feet, you're pretty close to another person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if
like-
one person gets it, will the other people possibly get it quick?
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Exactly. And if you're running the jails, does it cost more to take care of sick prisoners or not sick prisoners?
Sick prisoners.
That's right. So
Yeah.
the Department of Corrections, they probably want to vaccinate as many of the people in jail as possible, as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy to think about, huh?
Yep.
Now, you know Uncle Tony, and not the one that was on the show. He was the one that married my sister,
you're-
but my brother, Uncle Tony,
Oh, yeah.
he works in a
Your
prison
brother?
right here in Indiana. And
Oh, he does? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
So he's a healthcare worker because he's a nurse. So he got the vaccine.
Oh.
Yeah. And they want to make sure that the prisoners get it too. But those are just a couple. And there's uncertainty surrounded that. That's why we're talking about it. Because what happens with uncertainty in the stock markets?
Stock market goes kaboosh.
It gets scared. Yeah, it goes explosion, explode.
Well, it doesn't go that bad, but it doesn't like uncertainty.
Still bad.
And so we
enough.
talk about the Capitol Hill, and we also talk about the vaccination, which are those certain things or uncertain things?
Uncertain things.
Right.
Uncertainty.
What's a good certain thing? We're talking about Grandma Jones quite a bit because Grandma Jones could get what this week?
Her
Money.
Well, she got her
and the
Yeah,
vaccination.
her stimulus check.
Yeah, so did she get her stimulus check this week?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
She-
so.
Already, and that was quick. She called me and she was like, "Hey, I want to take out to dinner." I'm like, "Yeah, baby, stimulus check." And she could also get the vaccination because she's over what age in Indiana?
80.
She's over 80.
Over 80. Now, is that the same age in all the states?
No.
Grant, why don't you give me a different state and a different age?
Okay, so there's New
This one.
York,
Okay.
and their age is 75 and over.
Right.
Or
we
wait, is it 75 and over, or is it
were,
over?
over 75. It's kind of
Over
like over
75.
80. And what about you,
People that are
McAdoo?
75 years old.
Do you remember the other one we were talking about? Because they're different all over the place.
The Florida one I thought was kind of fascinating because it's a little bit younger than I would have expected. It's 65 and over.
And do you remember when we looked at the average age in a state? Since my buddy Glenn is down there, his average age is, I think, 7 or 8 years higher in Florida than it is in Indiana. So on average, people are older in Florida. And the
And they
age at which...
Maybe
decided
it's like
to
a
put it
retirement
lower.
home kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a retirement
Why?
place. Yeah, so why 65? And was that... Did everybody want to get a vaccine down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, people want to get on with their lives, right? So they went, and it's kind of confusing because they weren't sure how many vaccinations they had. Didn't I tell you about that article I read, Mac? What was it? How many people were lined up for how many possible vaccinations?
Oh, it was like, wasn't there like 300 vaccinations that they could give, and there was like 1,000 people there?
Waiting outside. It was getting crazy. And so they're trying to do it all online, but they were having lots of problems. So Grandma Jones came over, which is interesting. And I helped her sign up for the
vaccine.
However, Grandma Harris, can she get the vaccine?
No, she cannot.
No.
Why not?
Because she is under 80.
Yeah.
She's a spring chicken. She's under 80. She's 76 or so, right?
Yeah.
McKenna's like,
way to expose Grandma's age.
She's a youngin'.
Well, we hope Grandma listens to this and maybe yells at me, and then I'll have to take it out. But
at least I said that she was young.
She's young. There you go.
She can give me a hug. Yeah.
You're working on a big present or another Christmas present, right? I don't know. Are you? You're
just being nice.
You're just being nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Aww.
So what happened in the market this week? Come on, guys. What are the three indices that we were looking at, Mac?
The Dow.
The Dow. What about you, Mac?
The S&P, or however you say that.
S&P 500?
S&P, yeah.
Yeah.
And the NASDAQ.
Okay, so
Best one.
So we went through and you guys are going, Dad, the Dow is about what? Which companies? Come on, we got to get this done.
The Dow is
It's from all over. Is it not?
From all over?
Like from like
how many companies
it's the
are
top
in the Dow?
it's the top ones.
It's kind of the big 30 companies, right?
Yeah.
Usually older companies, but who do we know that's in the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P?
Apple.
Right?
Apple, yeah.
And you guys bought Apple on Monday.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
We lost money from it because it went down.
That's right. So
Sadly.
what did you buy Apple stock at? Right there, bottom of the page, far right. What is it?
$133.56. Way to be precise.
And how much money did you lose? What percentage did you lose?
We lost about 1%.
Yep, you lost $1.51 on each one of your shares. So in total, how much did you lose this last week? Because how many shares did you buy?
We bought 2, so that means we lost $3.02.
That's right.
Every cent's count.
So you lost 1%.
Yes.
Because you bought it at market price, which means when the market opens, whatever it is, you're jumping in.
Yep.
They sold it to you for $133.56, and you lost 1%. But what did the markets do? Because in the Dow the Apple is in Dow, right?
Yeah.
Apple is in NASDAQ, and that Dow is in the S&P. So the Dow are the big companies, right? And what about the NASDAQ? Who's in the NASDAQ? I know I keep asking.
The top electronic ones and like
technology ones.
Yeah, technology. Sorry.
Because in NASDAQ, they could be biotech, like using new knowledge and new technology to build the vaccine, right? There was a number of the big companies that were in there. And then the S&P 500 it's a whole bunch of stocks from what? Different
industries. That was the one that I was talking about earlier. I thought that was the Dow.
Beautiful.
But yeah, they're just like from everywhere.
That's a broad base. So it could have technology, construction. It
hotels.
could have hotels. It could have airlines. It could have all kinds of stuff.
Everything.
Right?
You would ever need.
Food. Amen. Right? And the
Yes.
beach stocks, which we were having a little bit of trouble. Casinos, hotels.
Cruises.
Live entertainment.
I forgot
cruises.
what the B was in beach.
What was the B?
I don't know. Why don't you look it up?
We should put that on our quiz.
Yes, we should put it on the quiz. But what happened with the three indices? McKenna, what happened to the Dow?
The Dow went up 1.6% in a week.
In a week, and then Apple, which is Apple a big part of the Dow or a little part of the Dow? Because it's a big company and it kind of affects things.
I think it's a big part.
It is.
Ooh.
And it was down 1%, but the Dow went up 1.6%. And is that a lot? 1.6?
That's a lot. Like
1.6,
the average is 10% for an entire year.
And if you get 1.6, that would be 6 weeks. So you'd have 9.6% because 16 times 6 is 96.
That's pretty scary.
So that is cranking. McKenna,
Their
what
full
happened
potential.
if the Dow did the same thing, 1.6 up every week for an entire year? Where would you be?
We would be at plus 83%.
Dang.
Positive 83%.
Positive 83%. And what do we normally see in over a long period of time, what's the average increase we see in the stock market?
In a year? Or?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. I already said it. 10%.
10%. So we would be on target for 83% if it was the Dow. And the S&P, what the heck happened with the S&P?
It went up by 1.8%.
Which means?
It goes up 52% if it stays the same throughout the year.
Hold on a
Boom.
second. Let's see. So that number must be wrong because 52 times 50
Yeah, that's what I was
times
thinking.
4 is 93. Did we do the math right?
Yeah, Dad.
It's like 90 plus percent. Yeah, it's pretty close to 90% because that'd be
Sorry,
forward like
we had
96%.
false information, people. Okay, sorry. Let's redo that. The S&P
Would be
so it
up.
goes up by 1.8%.
So it's almost 2%, and 2% times 50 is what? Like 100.
100.
Yeah,
So it's
so
going to be
100%.
close to 100%. Now, NASDAQ. What did the NASDAQ do?
Yes.
And last year, what did the NASDAQ do?
So the NASDAQ went up 2.4%
This week.
this week,
Excellent.
which is an absolute ton. So if it every week went up for a year, it'd be plus 125%, which is like close to how much it went up last year, right?
No, last year. Come on now. We know that.
sorry.
Would that be the new record or something?
I don't know. That's a lot. I don't know. I didn't check that out.
NASDAQ?
But how much did it go up last year, the entire year? And we said, wow, that was a ton. How much?
Wasn't it? Oh, it was like
44%.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense.
But this year, it's on track for 125%. What do we know about the stock market? It goes
Up and down. Well, NASDAQ's happily going up into the skies to the sun.
So it's a little scary if we think about it, because that's a heck of a high number.
I didn't even think about that. I thought it was like 100 last year or something.
No, we got to keep our numbers straight. That's why
Okay.
we're doing this. We want you guys to
Straight.
learn this.
Sir.
The Dow are the big companies. S&P is a broad index, which is over all different types of industries. And NASDAQ is tech. And normally we see about 10%. So the market kicked butt this week. But what is a couple of little side notes? Because one of the side notes is what happened to crypto? Cryptocurrency last week.
Crypto.
Last week. At the end of the week.
It's
So
like
it
Bitcoin.
started in
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
There's lots of crypto, but Bitcoin's the big one. Sorry, I should
so
have said
it
that.
started at 28,966.
So right around 29.
Put that at like 29,000, okay? And it went up to 39,927.
It went up one. It went up 10
It went up like 11,000. How?
It went up
in a week.
in a week,
A
which is
week.
Now,
what?
people.
that's a lot of damage.
Which is what percentage, Mac?
What? Oh, it is 37.8% in
Way to
a
nail it.
week.
Yeah, 37.8%.
That's how much. That's almost how much NASDAQ went up in a whole year.
That's right. Now you guys are getting it. And the thing is, when I looked at it, I cut it off, I believe, on Friday. And over the last 2 days,
That means it went up by more.
it actually
probably?
went up over $42,000.
Oh my gosh, guys, buy.
Yeah, no, we're not recommending buying
No,
crypto.
don't buy it right
But-
now.
Buy it when it's low again.
But we're letting
Maybe
you know,
it might be
it
low.
already came down to below 38 and change. So it's already below what it ended at on Friday. So it's very volatile, which means it goes up and down quite a bit. So, but something to keep an eye on as things get a little bit crazy.
Sorry, yeah, I meant buy when it's low.
Yeah, buy when it's low, but we're not really sure when it's coming down. We probably need to get somebody else in here. And what did I tell you? We had that really tall guy in here, not Tony Petro.
Oh, Kyle?
Yeah, Kyle.
Hi.
Kyle is what we call a day trader, right? And he trades
Yes, he's
during
an
the
expert, I think.
trades during the day. And do you know what percentage increase he had last week?
I don't remember.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
what did he start with?
He's okay. So he started.
Oh, 30,000, right?
He started
yeah.
with 30,000.
and
Yep,
then he
that's
went
true.
to 32,238.
Yep. And so what percentage increase did he have last week?
A 7.5% increase, which is a lot.
It's kind of it's a dangerous thing. We're not promoting that out there. We're just trying to talk about different ways that you can make money, right? You got crypto, you got day trading, you got stocks and bonds that we're looking at, but we're just kind of keeping the stocks right now. And we had a really good week, over 7.5%. That was pretty darn cool. So that's the markets. Uncertainty, but why did it really pop? What was we heard a little something. We talked about it a little bit because Grandma Jones got it in the mail.
It was the stimulus checks.
Dude, yeah, that really helps. That helps the economy go because people have money to
Spend.
Spend, cha-ching, cha-ching.
They do. So what happens when you have money to spend? Do I buy maybe another car?
I mean, you can.
Oh.
Yeah, I buy another car. You might go out and buy some equipment, like
Or-
podcast equipment.
Yeah.
Or might
Yeah.
go out and buy some other stuff. So that's good for the economy. So what does the market think about that? Is that a good thing? Heck yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
As long as it's
Everything goes
not
up.
too crazy with the money and not too heated up.
Not
but
the
Great Depression.
yeah, not the Great Depression. We're not going to be,
us financiers do not speak
if you don't
of that
say.
untold tale.
That's right.
I don't know.
But when we're thinking about that, they were pretty excited that that was getting finalized. Checks were going out. We saw some of them that went out. Vaccine is starting to get out there. So that's really good stuff. Now, I know we're about 20 minutes in, but one thing we want to talk about is what are we looking at buying here?
A car.
A car.
Possibly. Yeah.
Possibly a car. And what kind of car? Do you guys remember?
Tesla.
Oh. You guys are going for
Or
the
SUV.
Tesla.
SUV. Sorry.
What
sorry.
kind? We went the SUV, but do we want the
Small.
full blown? Yeah, smaller.
The
Yeah.
smaller one. We
Now, is
want
Mom
Big Boy
happy?
John. We want little small Susie.
That's right. Little
Yes.
small Susie. Now, is Mom happy to trade in her minivan?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. But
It's-
what is so incredibly awesome about a minivan? Can you name two things? I got two things in my head.
It's big.
It's big.
It's
it has a
Super big.
He has a
Lots of
huge
seating.
trunk, like a lot of space to
Huge
put stuff.
trunk. And do you remember on the sides?
Side doors. It's not like the ones
Oh,
that come
yeah.
out.
They
like
slide. So when you guys were kids and you were throwing open the doors and hitting cars next to us, having the sliding doors were really awesome.
Yeah.
Plus, you didn't have to bend over and hurt your back because we had an SUV before, and putting you in your chairs was really tough. Now, why are we talking about that? One, feeling a little bit better about the economy. So we're a little bit wanting to maybe go out and buy one. Ours is getting old. We're possibly going to get a check in the mail, right? And we're looking at an SUV, smaller SUV, right?
Yeah.
So can you guys name three of them? Because we just kind of threw them out there, trying to be a little bit reasonable, even though we're kind of going to test drive the Tesla, because we want to see what that's all about, the Tesla Y.
Ooh.
Now, do you know what Elon Musk named his four cars?
Yes.
The model?
The SEXY.
The SEXY. Now, people are probably going to go, what are you talking about? That's a kid's show. And it is. But he actually did the Model S. And then Aunt Lori bought the Model
E.
3.
3. Now, the thing is,
S.
the E was taken and they actually applied for the copy or the trademark on it. But Ford had the Model E.
How dare
So they couldn't use E, and they did a 3, which is 3 lines, which looks like an E. All right? And then what's the next model they had? The one that I kind of really like.
The X.
The X. And then what's the one that we're kind of going to look at?
The Y.
The Y. So he was really trying to spell sexy. He was. And they did that.
Plug your ears, children.
Plug your ears,
This man
children.
speaks nonsense.
But we lined up a couple, and I looked. Mom was saying, hey, let's look at the Honda Pilot. I looked at a couple of cars. Can you guys name a couple cars that are similar to the Honda Pilot?
There's the Mazda
Mazda C.
X9.
McKenna, you going to name one for us?
The Honda Pilot.
Honda Pilot we started with, the Mazda CX-9. What else?
And then the Toyota 4Runner.
And then the Kia Telluride. Kia Telluride, how long has that been around? You guys probably don't know this, but it's been around since 2019. 19, great. Yeah. But one thing we want to get across is when I look at decisions, I'm always looking at the money, right? Mac, you know that, right?
Yes.
You say, hey, I want to buy this thing. And the first thing I probably say, hey, did you look around for a deal for that? Right? And when you're looking at a car, what are the two major things that you could buy in a family? Kids are the most expensive to buy.
You buy kids, you make kids.
They're just the most
You just
expensive.
produce them.
But you produce them. Oh, okay.
Somehow we don't.
We're staying away from
Okay,
that. So,
basically,
what are the
you
two-
buy a house.
Whoa, you're very
yeah,
loud.
you're pretty loud, man.
Sorry, you buy a house and a car.
House and a car are the two major things you buy. So you want to really look at, when you're looking at a car, how much it costs to maintain. So what did I do? I pulled out for 5 years, how much does it cost to buy and maintain a Honda Pilot? I looked at how much the Kia Telluride was, the Mazda CX-9, and the Toyota 4Runner. Now, can you guys walk me through what is the normal price on the Honda Pilot?
The normal. Wait, so like you mean the
it normal?
MSRP?
MSRP, the
That's
manufacturer's.
the recommended. So when like they manufacture it, that's like the recommended price to buy it at. But
Yeah,
like
to sell it to somebody,
yeah,
right?
sell it. Yeah.
And that's how much, G, for the Honda Pilot?
32,250.
They got different styles where you could be more or less, but
Yeah.
this is 32. What about the Mazda CX-9, Mac? How much is that one?
That is $33,960.
So we got about 32, 34, and then the Toyota 4Runner is the most expensive because the Kia Telluride didn't have enough info, so we can't see how much that really cost over 5 years to own. But the Toyota 4Runner, G?
36,340.
Okay, so the Honda Pilot's the least, the Mazda's the next, and the Toyota is the most expensive. Is that right, Mac?
Yes.
Yep. So what happened when we looked at how expensive, like if you had a Maserati, my Maserati does 185.
Thank you for that performance.
I always wanted one of those. Uncle Weston has a Maserati, which is really fast. But
Ooh.
when you have a Maserati, which
Fancy.
is like $150,000, if you get in an accident with that, is that going to be more expensive or less expensive than getting into an accident
That's
with like
going to be a
Honda?
lot of moolah.
A lot more
of
expensive.
cabbage. Right. So is insurance going to run you more for the Maserati or less?
More.
More. So what they looked at is stuff like, can you read off a couple of them? What about the tax credit? That usually goes with electric cars, right? But none of these are electric, so we don't get any of that. What's the next one, G?
Insurance.
Mac, what's the next one? Maintenance.
Maintenance.
G, what's the next one?
So then there's repairs.
Then Mac.
Taxes and fees.
And then
Fine.
if it costs more, the financing is going to be more,
Yeah.
right? So you got financing. What's the next one?
Depreciation.
Ooh, depreciation. Last one, Mac?
That one
Fuel.
affects a lot.
Fuel.
Yeah,
And
fuel.
depreciation is one that we want to get across as being very careful with, because say you have 3 exact cars, all $25,000, but in 5 years, the first one you sell for $20,000, the second one you sell for $15,000, and the third one you sell for $10,000.
So, Mr. Ben, why don't you explain it to us why that occurs?
Well, why do you think it might occur? When in 5 years, what do you think?
It's because it's not a new car.
It's not a new car, so it depreciates, right? You use it up. How many miles do you normally get out of a car?
I don't know. How much? I've never owned a car.
You've never owned a car? So maybe about, I don't know, depends on how well you take care of it and what quality car. Could be 125,000, 150, could be 200. Some of them I've seen 250, even 300. But some cars don't.
This says average miles are 13,000.
13,000 a
500.
year.
Oh yeah, a year.
Oh,
yeah.
you can buy more on it?
And
No. Normally that's what people drive. Like when we go to grandma's and drive downtown, we normally drive about 13,000 a year. So after 5 years, 5 times 13 is what?
5 times 13, that is
65.
5.
sorry, I haven't been in school in such a long time.
Another reason why you got to go back, kid.
No!
65,000.
I liked it
So if you're
when
doing
I
about
was
65,000 after 5 years, some cars, do you think all cars are in perfect shape after 65,000?
Oh no.
Some cars need a lot of work at 65, even though they haven't been abused because their engines aren't as quality. The door may be falling apart. So which one of these will depreciate or go down by the most amount of money out of the 3 we talked
The
about?
CX-9.
Yes, that thing's crazy.
$25,000.
It will
off of it.
depreciate 25 grand. And it was not the most expensive. It was the middle one, but it depreciates the most. Which car loses the least amount?
The Toyota
4Runner.
Yeah, the Toyota 4Runner.
So the 4Runner was the most expensive, but it will
And
keep
yeah.
its value the most 5 years later.
The cheapest in the end.
Cheapest in the end in 5 years. You agree, Mac?
Yes.
But isn't that crazy? You pay the most to buy it, but it literally cost you the least amount of money.
This is why before you look at buying a car, you need to look at the facts, people.
The fact. Well, which one is rated the most?
Okay, yeah, so we didn't
The
talk about
Kia
the score, so
Well, the Kia Telluride, but the Kia Telluride's only been around how long?
for a year.
Like a year. So what could happen like next year? It could completely fall apart and everybody be so mad. So if something hasn't been around very long, you're not really sure if it's going to keep its same rating. Does that make sense? And the other rating, the Honda Pilot, what did that rate it at?
Honda Pilot is a 7.9 out of 10.
But the Mazda, which is the one that loses the most money over time,
Is an 8.3.
so people really, really think it's a really great car. However, it just loses its value as it goes along, and therefore it's the most expensive out of those three to have after 5 years. So we want to make sure that we keep talking about different things related to money, making good decisions. And in this case, unless we absolutely love the Mazda CX-9, it seems like from a financial perspective, the Honda Pilot or the Toyota 4Runner might be a little bit better, right? You guys want to say anything before we go? Because we just got through the markets, got through you guys going back to school. What do you think, McAdoo?
Have a great week. Yay.
And welcome to 2021.
Welcome to 2021. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next week on Money with Mac and G. We loved it. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.